Clinton's Corner. My name is Clinton Jarman. On Monday afternoon, we bring you the latest sports news and stories from around the world here at the Fair Digest. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe here on our YouTube channel and on our online magazine. And also get your comments in below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Then straight into the news. Then the sports news, that is. There was an MMA fight, a big fight over the weekend, UFC 143, Robert Whittaker versus Israel Adesanya. A fight that a lot of people wanted to see. Robert Whittaker, in the fight, probably a better grappler, better wrestler than Adesanya. Adesanya, well known for his kickboxing ability around the world, and there's not many people that can stand in the ring with him and kickbox. But Whittaker was fairly confident of his striking before the match, and so it seemed in the first round where Whittaker was actually forcing the pace. Whittaker coming into this one 20-4, and Adesanya obviously unbeaten thus far at 17-0. So yeah, as I was saying, Whittaker forcing the pace early. Adesanya just feeling his way into the fight. Stylebender, sort of countering every time Whittaker pressed forward, and right at the end of the first round, Stylebender caught Whittaker with a counter punch and sent him to the canvas. And I thought the fight was over, but Whittaker got up and the hooter sounded right after that, and Whittaker was saved by the bell because Stylebender was just about to mount him and ground and pound for all he's worth. So I think first round, definitely went to Adesanya. It was tight before that, but definitely the first round went to him. Second round looked like Stylebender found his rhythm, found his range, was connecting on shots. Whittaker was still trying to press forward, to his credit, but Stylebender just looked the superior fighter in the second round, and Whittaker pressed forward once again, actually catching Stylebender with a left. But as good as Israel is, he managed to counter with his own left hook and sent Whittaker to the canvas, and that was it. Game over, KO. A lot of people saying before the fight, maybe that Adesanya doesn't have the knockout power that other fighters have, and it's quite evident to see that he does. He knocked him out quite clean there. After the fight, saying that he didn't really everything that Whittaker threw at him, he kind of expected. He was ready for it, trained for it, prepared. They had prepared from A to Z, as he said, and it was a good fight, and he pretty much dominated from sort of midway through the first round, and I think the knockout came with his strategy employed of I don't want to say going backwards, but countering Whittaker's punches when he's off balance was beautiful to watch. Whittaker now 20-5 after that loss, and Adesanya still unbeaten. Adesanya calling out Paul Costa after the fight. That is a fight that I think most people want to see as well. Costa's been saying a lot about Adesanya lately, and I think Adesanya wants to shut everyone up, all of his doubters really. He had a lot of doubters coming into the UFC, and I think he shut a lot of people up thus far, and I think he'll keep going. He certainly is an entertainer and one to watch going forward in the middleweight division. Then just into some NFL news now. The Seahawks managed to beat the Rams 30 points to 29. This was a tight game. The Seahawks are now 4-1, and the Rams surprisingly 3-2. After the Rams made the Super Bowl last season, many picked them to maybe repeat that feat, but not going so well this season for the Rams, especially in defense. They seem to be giving up an awful lot of points. I know they've had some injuries, but just doesn't seem like it's going in the Rams' favor thus far. The Seahawks, on the other hand, bit of a surprise package, 4-1. We'll have to watch out for them. They look like they could maybe do something this season. Then the Saints took on the Bucks. The Bucks obviously coming off that big win over the Rams. looking to continue that form. Unfortunately, they ran into a very good Saints side. The Saints winning out this one 31-24. Saints moved to 4-1. The Bucks are now 2-3. Tampa usually have this kind of start to a season where they beat teams you wouldn't expect them to beat, but then again they don't seem to have that consistent form. Teddy Bridgewater stepping in beautifully for Drew Brees, I must say. The Saints haven't missed a step in Brees' absence, and Saints looking a really good side. After Brees went down, I myself thought maybe the Saints aren't gonna do as well, but Teddy Bridgewater is doing amazing things there. Then the Panthers took on the Jags. The Panthers winning this seesaw battle 34-27. I didn't watch this game. I watched sort of towards the end, but I was looking. When you watch the NFL, they've got the scores on the bottom. They sort of slide down like the sort of news at the bottom, and the scores were even throughout this whole game, and the Panthers just pulling it out in the end. The Jags did have one last drive where they came close to getting it in the end zone. I think it was 3 or 4 times, but unluckily they didn't manage to get what would have been a touchdown with a point, or if they wanted to go for 2 points for the win. But yeah, they didn't manage to get that. So now the Panthers moved to 3-2 without Cam Newton, and the Jags are now 2-3. So yeah, both teams struggling at the quarterback position, but both backup quarterbacks playing well in this one. Now the Eagles, they took on the Jets. Everyone expected an easy win for the Eagles, and so it proved, 31-6. The Eagles now moved to 3-2, and having gone through some tough teams in this division in their season thus far, it looks like the Eagles are starting to put something together now, and most people thinking that they could also possibly have a Super Bowl run in them again. So let's watch out for the Eagles there. Steelers, they took on the Ravens. The Ravens looking to bounce back after 2 consecutive losses, and they did so. They won this one 26-23 in overtime. Again, I was watching the Pats game, and this was another game that interested me on the bottom sort of news scroll there, where I think it was the Steelers who had an early lead and the Ravens came back, and then it was sort of back and forth after that. Then it went to overtime, but the Ravens pulled it out in the end. Lamar Jackson actually threw 3 interceptions, so he started the game well, but didn't really finish it that well. So Steelers losing that one 23-26. Sorry. Steelers are now 1-4. The Ravens are now 3-2. They'll hopefully be moving on to bigger and better things in their season. The Redskins, they took on the Patriots. The Patriots obviously heavily favoured in this one, but they didn't have it all their own way. I mean, the Patriots were, I think, 12-6 up at halftime, and the Redskins were doing a good job of getting to the quarterback. Brady was sacked multiple times in the first half. I think it was 3 times he was sacked in the first half, and the offensive line of the Patriots weren't really protecting him. Although he threw out for 200 yards, he didn't get a lot of protection. He had to make a lot of plays happen as well. Then in the second half, it was a totally different ball game. He got a bit more protection, but still he had to make plays on his own, and he made some big plays. Also, Sony Michel running in for a beautiful 14-yard run for a touchdown was good to see him coming into the game more as the game progressed. So Pats winning this one 33-7. Most people would have expected that. Most people would not have expected the Patriots to struggle though in the first half. So that Patriot offensive line can be a bit of an issue at times, but Bill Belichick and Tom Brady find a way as usual. Then moving on, the Cowboys, they lost to the Packers. The Packers winning this one 34-24 over Dallas in Dallas. So tough loss for the Dallas Cowboys. Some people saying that they're putting it together for a Super Bowl run as well, but the Packers looking to stop them dead in their tracks there. I didn't manage to watch this game, but the Cowboys now moved to 3-2 in their season. The Packers now 4-1 in their season, and looking good. Then last but not least, the Chiefs, they took on the Colts. The Chiefs suffered their first loss of the season. Yep, you heard it right. The Chiefs suffered their first loss of the season. The Colts winning this one 19-13. So the Chiefs move now to 4-1, and the Colts are now 3-2. Just want to look out for tomorrow. I think it is 2:15 South African time. The 49ers, the undefeated 49ers will take on the Cleveland Browns. Obviously the 49ers and the Patriots are the only two unbeaten teams so far in the league. So it would be interesting to see if the Cleveland Browns can win that one. I'm not too sure they can. 49ers are doing well at the moment, but with the likes of Baker Mayfield, OBJ, Jarvis Landry, guys of that nature, the Browns can probably upset anyone this season, and they might be sort of spoilers this season. Then just moving on to some Rugby World Cup results. Before I get into that, don't forget to, if you want to see the full breakdown of all the games of the NFL, you can go onto our website. It's all there for you. It's all the yardage, all the passing yards, everything is there, broken down for you by our writer Ryan Muller. Now straight into that rugby news. South Africa, they played on the weekend. Last Friday they beat Italy 49-3. Obviously you will have seen the review on that one that I did on Friday after the game. Then Australia beat Uruguay 45-10. England beating Argentina 39-10. Argentina not doing great at this World Cup. Japan, the hosts, they continued their fine form, 38-19 over Samoa. 33-19, over Samoa. Great game there for the Japanese. It was tight at one stage. I believe it was, 19-12 at half time. Good second half there from the Japanese. The All Blacks, they ran riot in their game against Namibia, 71-9. And France, they edged Tonga 23-21. Unconvincing again from the French side. So French not doing too great at this World Cup either. They don't look like they're a cohesive unit at the moment. So just a quick look at the pools now. And Japan sit atop Group A with 14 points. Behind them is Ireland with 11. Scotland coming third there with 5. Samoa with 5 as well. Russia bringing up the rear with 0. In Group B, New Zealand top their group with South Africa coming in second. Italy third with 10 points as well. Same amount of points as South Africa, but you would expect that New Zealand and South Africa will make it out of that group. Namibia and Canada bringing up the rear there with no points each. England, they top their group with 15 points, and France are second in that one with 13 points. Argentina, disappointment for them, 6 points with 1 game to go, which means they're out of the World Cup. Tonga with 1 point, USA nothing so far. And then Group D, Australia lead the way in that one with 11 points. However, Wales have a game in hand over them and they are on 9 points. So if they win their game in hand against Fiji, they will go top. I would say that most likely they would beat Fiji, and they would probably beat Uruguay as well and top that group. And then Fiji coming in there third with 7, Georgia with 5, and Uruguay with 4 points. So as it stands now, if Japan end top of their group, they will play against South Africa in the next round. The Springboks probably didn't expect that, but they'll take that. That's probably a favourable draw for them. They would have probably had to play Ireland, and I don't think anyone would have been looking forward to playing Ireland. Ireland now will have a tough task if they finish second. If obviously this is ifs, but I think Japan will beat Scotland, and if that happens, then Ireland will have to play the world champs, New Zealand. Now Ireland are the only team in the world to beat New Zealand twice in the last 4 years, so that'll be an interesting tussle in itself. And I think New Zealand, coming off the back of playing two minnow sides, might be a bit undercooked. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. And then if Wales top their group, that means England will then play Australia, and Wales will then play France. So, just looking at it, a possible route to the semi-final for South Africa, a definite route to the semi-final for Wales. I don't see France beating Wales, and that's the only tight games in that one are going to be probably New Zealand and Ireland and England and Australia. Those are going to be two great games to watch. I think they're all going to be great games to watch anyway. So just moving on to some cricket news. The Proteas, they're obviously in battle with India at the moment in the Test series. Unfortunately, we lost that one on the weekend, but there were some positives to take out the game. I think we fought back really well in that first innings. Second innings didn't go according to plan, so just a quick match summary there. India posted 502 for 7 declared in their first innings. Agarwal scoring 215 with Rohit Sharma getting 175. Then in reply, South Africa were 431 all out. Dean Elgar scoring 160 and Quinton de Kock getting 111 with Ravichandran Ashwin taking 7 wickets in that one, spinning a web around the South Africans there. India then went into bat again. They scored 323 for 4 declared. Rohit with another 127 there. Then South Africa were obviously put in big trouble. Big trouble in this one. I think that we were 70 odd for 8, I think, before Dan Pitt came in and shared in 100 run. I think it was nearly 100 run stand with debutant Matusami. Dan Pitt scoring 57. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to bat out the fifth day, and that was largely because of Mohammad Shami. He took 5 for 35 on the day, and Ravindra Jadeja also chipping in with 4 of his own wickets. He accounted for the scalps, for the early scalps of Aiden Markram, Bernard Philander, I forget the guys now, but he got 4 wickets anyway. India winning this one by 203 runs. The next test starts on Thursday. So obviously I'll be bringing you the first 2 days results, the first 2 days happenings on Friday on the Wild Proteas, so don't forget to check that out. Then just last 2 little things that I want to mention here. The case against Eben Etzebeth with regards to the racial incident that happened with him. There seems to be a bit of an assault charge or I forget now, attempted murder charge I'm hearing, and there's a whole lot of stories flying around in the media at the moment, and I just think it's perhaps a bit poor from South African rugby to have sent him with this sort of case looming large in the background, that knowing that it will come up to the surface. And I think there's just too many stories out there for something not to have happened. I think something's definitely happened here. I think Eben's definitely going to be charged. Whether he'll be found guilty is another story. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Unfortunately, in South Africa, there's been where we come from. The racial tension is massive. It's always massive. It's been massive for the longest time, and we're trying to make it right. But incidents like this with high-profile sports players don't help. He's supposed to be setting an example not only himself but the kids and the next generation, and what kind of a message is sending if he's getting into these situations. Even if it's not true, there must be some element of truth to this story, otherwise it wouldn't have come out. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. As usual, we'll bring it to you here on the Fair Digest. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. And it's just sad to see it happen to one of the better players in our team. Then last but not least, the little Mapimpi incident that happened after the game. Just want to weigh in on that, and just maybe ask you guys what you thought of it. So if you'd like to get in the comments and just let me know if you think it was a racial incident, or if you just think it was, as Mapimpi said, that there's a bomb squad, they call it, of bench players, and they were doing their chants or whatever, and he decided, listen, I'm gonna stay out of that because I'm gonna go celebrate with the rest of the guys. I'm not going to give my opinion on the matter. All I'm going to say is I've been in team environments before where you have sort of squads within the squads, sort of like forwards and backs and whatever. So the situation is completely understandable the way you described it. I just think that at that level, players need to be a bit more mindful of the situation, and the fact that they are on camera, and the fact that, like I said earlier, racial tension in South Africa hasn't depleted since '94. It's just the fact that apartheid ended, but you don't change people's minds overnight. So the problem is that there's still lingering racism in South Africa, and for an incident to happen on international TV like that, where it's unclear what happened, I think the guys should just rather have those chants in the change room. If you're gonna have it, rather, because it just looked bad. I must admit, it just looked bad. And that's the last sort of thing you want for the players to be addressing in the media after games and stuff. You want them to be thinking about winning the World Cup. You don't want them to be thinking about is there racial tension within the locker room? Now, I must, like I said, I'm not going to give my opinion on the actual video. I will say that I don't think there's racial tension in that South African dressing room, and I think they are all united for the cause of winning the World Cup. But yeah, like I said, guys, give your comments give your comments below, and let me know what you think. Do you think it was a racial incident? Do you think it was just a sort of team thing where they have that bomb squad or whatever? Let me know what you guys think. So yeah, guys, that's the news for this Monday. Don't forget to check my other channel out, the Wild Pro tier. Don't forget to join me on Friday, where we will be going through all the goings on in South African sport. Thanks for joining me.